say Happy May Day to one and all, and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide. We are not here by chance. We are here by divine appointment. We heard the call, and we answered, and we showed up, and we know that showing up is 90% of life. It really is. The other 10% is really up to us to put the words with the faith, the action with intention. On this May theme, it's about the intuitive way in the month of May. I love this topic. It is the still, small voice of God within us. Be still and know that I am God. That energy, that life force within us that allows us, with all the noise, and I know Robert Roy's talking about the white noise out there. I didn't really know about white noise. I knew about noise. But it's a noise that we just sort of accommodate, and we kind of open the space for it. But on the deeper levels, there is the secret place of the Most High within us that has never been touched by grief. It has never angered or gotten angry or been defensive or felt offended. It is the place of peace. Be still and know that I am God, that we are co-creators with the infinite, that we do not worship a parent God sitting in a throne with a little black book saying, that's two, okay, third, you're out of the pool. We know God is energy. We feel it every time we embrace and we feel that energy. We walk outside. We look into the hills from whence cometh our strength. Our strength comes from that energy everywhere present. And our viewing audience may not know this, but we've got four-leggeds here in the room that come and join us with their energy and their light. That our way of life is all-inclusive. All-inclusive. It embraces all living things. The finned ones below, the winged ones above, grandfather, sun, grandmother, moon, sky father, earth mother, the rock people that share their sermons and stones, the standing ones, the trees, our guardians, the creepy crawlies that cleanse and purify the earth mother, and our sister, the babbling brook that shares her song in a universe that's filled with calm, and all the little four-leggeds that romp and roam and muse upon the earth mother that is their home. And we two-leggeds that walk the good red road of peace and balance together, hand in hand on the good red road, remembering that we did not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand on it. And with great unconditional positive regard, we honor one another. We feel that energy of light and love. So today when we feel the intuitions, and we all come in with intuition, and how many of you have said, if I'd only followed my intuition, I would have made a bundle. If I'd only held on to that house one more year. You know, it's so interesting. I lived on the ocean in Coronado, and I sold my house for cash for $500,000. And then my daughter went and looked in the Coronado case, and it was up for sale for $1.2 million. And I said, I will not go there. I absolutely will not go there. But it's so interesting how we do that. And the simple things, too, that come up. We think, we get the little nudge, right? And then we get that feeling, that gut feeling, you know? And then the logical, rational, linear mind comes in and says, oh, but if you do that, the outcome could be this. So we kind of listen to the linear left side of our brain, and then we get what I call the divine boot right in the assets. Thinking, if I only listen to my intuition. And this is transpersonal as well. There was a gospel singer who had a group, and they all piled in his bus. They were going all over the South with his gospel, and I love gospel singing. And he said that they stopped at like a cafe, truck stop kind of thing. And he said everybody was waiting for him in the big old bus. And he heard a pay phone ringing. And he just sort of ignored it, you know, but there was like a little nudge thing within him that said, you should answer that. And he thought, no, they're waiting for me. So he started walking toward the bus, and the phone was ringing. He started walking toward the bus, the phone was ringing. And finally, his intuition won out. And old Hank Gibbs answered the phone and said, hello. And a very tearful voice said, is this Reverend Hank Gibbs? Now he said, we are out in Fort Worth at a truck stop here. I live in Kansas. And he said, I'm looking around for candid cameras. You know how they do? You know, they do these things, and I'm looking all around. I thought, this cannot be real. And he said, well, yes, it is. And she said, and she started crying. And she said, I just needed to talk to you, and I saw you on a program, and it just moved me and touched my heart so deep that I just needed to talk to you because I've been thinking about taking my own life. And he said, all of a sudden, he just came to and began ministering to her and began sharing the gift of life. And that these experiences that we go through, this too shall pass. That God's love, God's truth, God's wisdom, the all-encompassing energy of the universe is with you always. And he said, what happened is, I was having my own crises of faith. Thinking I'm going out on the road, I'm singing these songs, I'm not making much money. And I was having my own crises of faith. And all of a sudden, in ministering to her about life and its gifts, I was ministering to myself. And had I gotten on that bus and let that phone ring, God knows where I'd be today. Now, I saw this on a documentary. It was called Miracles Are Real. And you know, you can't make this stuff up, can you? I mean, you just can't. And the fact that in the middle of nowhere, and he said, how did you get this number from this payphone? She said, it appeared to me in my prayer. And I just picked up the phone and dialed.
Wow.
So the still small voice of God is within us. We tap into a universal energy. The logical, rational, linear mind of us says, oh, that ain't possible. Well, no, not on those terms. But we step out of that factual reality. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, said it. He said, yes, dis-ease is a fact. Lack is a fact. Limitation is a fact. Scarcity is a fact, but it is not a spiritual reality. They're facts that can be changed in the twinkling of an eye. And there are a lot of facts that show up in our lives. And a lot of things we can give our power away to. And when I feel that feeling of, you know, it's a fear kind of feeling, I just go within. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. And it's so interesting, when I moved us to the leisure center from the spa hotel, I had a lot of people that say, oh, it was so much prettier at the spa hotel. And I said, well, they did double our rent. You know, that was pretty good motivation, right, to move us here. And they said, but it was, I hope we just can, you know, gather enough to get back there. So we left a year before the spa closed. And all the people that were renting at the spa were scampering to find places to hold their venues. But guess what? Yeah. Wednesday Night Live is here at the Leisure Center, right? And the fact that I just had this, you know, I had this feeling. I talked to my goddaughter, Diana Shea, who works for the city. We got it rolling. So when we act on this energy, it's really fascinating the way it unfolds. And if we don't, we really, at times, we get the divine boot. The universe, you know, just boots us out of where we're holding on to when it's time to expand. And I love the chambered nautilus. I have a few of them. Aren't they just beautiful? And Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote a poem called The Chambered Nautilus. Choose thee more stately mansions, O my soul, as the swift seasons roll. Leave thy low vaulted past for a dome more vast, beside life's unresting sea. That we're all chambered nautilus, and when we outgrow the shell, we move on to a larger expanse and a larger opportunity to express who and what we are. Another amazing documentary that documented was a gal that was walking down the street. Now, intuitively, you know if it's a good energy, right? We've sensed the vibration. And she said, I was, kind of sensing a really weird vibe. It was late, at night, and I had to get to the store to get something. And she said it was really interesting. It was raining, so I put my little red raincoat on, and I saw a guy kind of down on the corner, and I had a really weird vibe going. And all of a sudden, I made a declaration. I said, "Angels be with me now," and kept walking. Walked right by him and just kind of nodded and went about my business. She said the next morning she was watching the news and she saw this man who was arrested for attacking a woman and stealing her purse. But they caught him. So she called the sheriff that was her friend and said, "It's really weird. I walked by that man and I had a weird vibe. And I would just like you to ask him why he didn't select me." And so the sheriff did and called her back and said, there was a woman with a red raincoat, explained how she looked and that she was in the air. "Why didn't you attack her?" He said, "Are you kidding, with those two big guys walking beside her on each side? Angels be with me now." We just tapped into that universal energy, the subatomic energy that materializes itself within our own experience. And when we tap into that energy field, we step into another reality. Not the facts and the news and the politics and all of that, energy that's out there. We tap into a higher vibratory frequency. We tap into the mind of God. The cosmology is our daily life, is our temple and our religion. And that when we know that it doesn't mean that we're not going through stuff. It means that we have an invisible means of support. And, whether you light a candle in the morning, I light my candles and do the incense, and I call in my little doggies. I said, "We're going to set the tone now." And they come running in. And the love of God surrounds us, the light of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is. And they get it. They're there, and they feel that energy as well. And then I give them a treat because, I like to, reward for good behavior, right, and being an apt attention. And when we engage the whole universe in a conspiracy of love, we are the ones that are moved to the next level. We are the ones that allow ourselves to feel that gratitude, that energy. Be still and know that when you get the hunch, the little nudge, that little feeling, that is the voice of God. That's our divinity that is allowing us to move into another energy field. And that is a gift that the universe gives us. And we need to hone our intuition and not, put it down through logical linear thinking. Greg Braden, who wrote The Divine Matrix, said that it was really interesting. He said, "I was at a friend's house. We were having a gathering. And there was a guy there. He said, I've been wanting to meet you, and I'm kind of a land manager, and I know you have a great, big, expansive place in New Mexico, high on the hill. And he said, I would like to just, put it out there that if you need that I'm available for the exchange of living there." And what happened, he said, I had never done this before. He said, "What's your birthday?" And that the guy said, "June 28th, 1954. He goes, "Oh my God, that's my birthday." Really interesting. He said, "I'd never done that before." And he said, the guy laughed and said, "I must be your evil twin." Now, I think that's sort of a red flag. And he said he had a weird feeling when the guy said it. And he said, I discounted it. My logical, rational mind said, yeah, it'd be great to have a land manager, someone on the premises. When I'm going out and giving all my seminars all over the world, it'll be great. And he said, lo and behold, he got to hear from some of his friends that were in law enforcement. And he was sort of growing a garden that wasn't exactly flowers and was illegal at that time. Now you have to grow it. I guess you get a license and all of that. And if you don't inhale, right? So interestingly enough, he said, I had the universe gave me a warning and my intuition came up and I discounted it. And he said it was so interesting because I received a call from a woman who wanted to represent me because my old manager, he said the same thing happened where I wasn't paying attention, and there was a lot of things that went on in my company. And what I found out is that everything I judged, I got to experience. And I got to learn from, and I got to grow from it. And she was just fabulous. He said the things that she wanted to do for him. And he said, "What is your birthday?" And she said, "June 28th, 1954. So he said the universe had given me, you know, not an evil twin, but a mirror of who I am. And she's been with me ever since, and she's just fantastic." So the universe, there's an amazing feedback program that the universe gives us if we have eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart that's open. This is the opportunity that we have. So today, when we're looking at our daily life as our temple and our religion, and that everything we do is sacred, that there is a sacredness. When we are eating by ourselves, I said to my little grandson, you know, when you eat by yourself and Mama makes you your breakfast, you can just rub your hands together and put them over your food and just say, "Thank you, God." And so my daughter said, you know, it's so cute. I give him his breakfast and I'm, you know, getting ready for work. And I see him rub his hands and he puts his little hands down and he goes, "Thank you, God." You know, and then he begins to eat. It's a blessing that we have all the things that are provided for us. And that as we bless, we increase it. And through the increase, there is a space that is created, pressed down, shaken together, and flowing over into every area of our life. When we declare and we say, "Angels be with me now," and we are absolutely guided and directed and we are protected. We answer a phone, ringing in the wilderness, as it were. And guess what? It's for us. It's about transforming our daily life, which truly is our temple and religion. It's about an opening to a deeper level of faith. And most of my friends and colleagues, we swim in the deep end. We enjoy life and the energy of life. You know, superficiality has its place, but in our daily life, it doesn't. It's about going deep within, about feeling that energy of Christ consciousness, the Buddha nature, the holy I am presence. It's about really listening. And when the ducks fly in your pool, just notice the message that they bring. When the ravens fly into your yard, just notice the lessons that they bring. When the ladybug lands on your arm, just notice the lesson, the energy, and the message that the ladybug brings, because the ladybug heralds in the energy of a new age and era for each of us. So I've had all these things happen. I expressed this last week, and I'm very open to the messages of the universe. And as we are open to the messages of the universe, we receive what we need at the time that we need it. And we just say, "Thank you, Father, Mother, God. I know where I'm going." And where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you.